let's talk about the Celtics and Heat series.
Hot.
How it's been so far. The Heat have a 2-1 lead. We famously said before the series started that the Heat have no chance. That's the title of the video. And Heat fans swarming in the comments saying they can't wait to hear our reaction for what's been happening. So, Drew, I'll let you go first.
Fair enough.
You've been saying all season, listen, the Heat don't have an offense. You don't like Bam Adebayo much, and Bam Adebayo, Game 3, has a big-time performance. So, what do you feel? How do you feel about the Celtics and Heat series? Do you still have Boston winning, and have you been thoroughly impressed by Miami?
Talk about your Boston in 5.
All right, I will. First off, I actually want to give Bam Adebayo his credit because for Game 1 and Game 2, he was making me look like a superstar with the under 13 points per game average, where he barely put up 10 points in either game. But in Game 3, he was absolutely outstanding. JB goes down. You need someone to take the load offensively. And I was not expecting Bam to be that player, but he came and was absolutely outstanding. I got to give his respect. Now, to talk about the series as a whole, you alluded to it a little bit earlier with the Miami Heat having led not nearly as long as the Celtics have throughout the series. But you know what? I still got to give the respect to the Heat in that regard, where in Game 1, the Celtics were punched them in the mouth in the first half. But coming out of the gates in that third quarter, the Heat just went to a different level and they ran away with the game. Game 2, completely a different story where it was the Celtics dominating that first half, but in that second half, they continued to put their foot on the gas and they just ran away with the game. Now, in Game 3, this is where I've gotten a little bit humbled to a degree, but still stand firm on what I want to say. I say I'm humbled because JB goes down. It's already a huge deficit going into that second half, and this is where I believe that the Celtics should have made they did make that run, but they should have been able to win that game without the Heat's best player in Jaylen Brown. But in Jimmy Butler, my bad. But even still, the Heat showed resilience. Bam Adebayo was great. And they were able to come away with the W. Max Strus, too. That boy can stroke it. He can shoot. That guy really has a ratchet. He is good at basketball, at least at shooting. But I will say this. I am not concerned. I'm not concerned because it took the Celtics having one of their worst performances as a whole, and Miami actually having a historic performance, a franchise high in steals in a game, and they lost.
Tatum having a stinker. Another one.
Exactly, right? That's the key. Tatum had a stinker. That's fine. Because you know what I can confirm? Every time Tatum has a stinker, 30 points the next game. And if you want to bet me on that, I'm down to do that.
I just want him to stop having stinkers.
I'm fine with one stinker when it doesn't really matter early in the series. I'm fine with it. I don't disagree with that. However, at least you get out of the way early. You make your adjustments and come back.
There's actually a statistic that says the winner of Game 6, I think they win like 65% of the.
It's a good thing we're going into Game 4, right?
I think it was Game 5. That might be Game 5.
No, there's a statistic about Game 3 too.
Are you saying Game 3? I thought you said Game 6. I apologize.
Like the winner of Game 3, like.
Oh, okay.
Like,
but you know what? What allows me to really not be all too worried about it is that, yeah, you mentioned it. Jason Tatum had a bad game, a really bad game, and they still brought the lead back to 1 point and lost by 6. And it was really a sloppy offensive performance by Boston. I'm not expecting that going forward. And I'm still very confident in the Celtics. Still believe firmly that the Celtics will win this series. But I got to give credit where credit is due to Miami, especially for the way that they won in Game 3 without their best player in Jimmy Butler. That's why I have to show respect. But other than that, I still have no remorse. I don't feel bad for anything I said previously, but I'm acknowledging that was a great win by them and still recognizing the Celtics are going to win.
You know, people bring up this whole the Heat only won 2 quarters and stuff like that, and it is a fact. You know, if you just look at the numbers and just raw, like just look at them, it's a fact. You know, first game the Heat lost the first quarter by 3 points. The Heat lost the second quarter by 5 points. Then the Heat blew the Celtics out in quarter 3. Then they lost the fourth quarter by 6 points. Same type of result in Game 3. They blew them out in the first quarter, and they're losing these quarters by like 4 or 5 points. The third quarter, I believe, in Game 3, they were tied at 25 points apiece. So it's like the Heat, for the most part, the Heat and Boston have been back and forth. Game 2 was a blowout, obviously, but the Heat and Boston, they've been back and forth throughout the quarters outside of Game 2 for the most part. The difference has been Miami just goes on these runs, and when they go on these runs, it looks like Boston just can't stop them, and they get stagnant. Their defense has played as physical as Boston's defense has been. I said this before the season. Like, Miami is a physical team, just like Boston. They can get physical just like they can. And you saw it last game. Everybody was getting injured. Everybody was getting hurt. Miami, just like Boston, are two really physical teams that will get aggressive with you. And like you said, Max Strus, Tyler Herro, he's been butt. And
he's not playing tonight.
Yeah, okay.
He's hurt.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yo, Max Strus. That boy can stroke it.
That take is aging like fine wine. That man is.
We knew. We were on the right side of history. But he wasn't. He just got hurt.
He's been having a fantastic year all year. He just got
the playoffs started.
What, Reggie?
Yo, bro, that was crazy. We're gonna talk about that, bro. 0 for 10.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Wow.
I was thinking of Reggie Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Pool clears, by the way. Freaking clears. Miami's role players, you know, like you said, Bam in game 3, Max Strus towards the end of the game when you saw Boston was making a fight, Kyle Lowry coming back and bringing that type of mentality at the point guard position, that type of poise, he was good for them. It's just the little things that Miami does on the offensive end. Victor Oladipo was amazing on defense in game 3. He was huge for them, getting stops on Jaylen Brown, getting a couple steals on him too. This series, like I said, I still think it's going 7. You know, I still think this will end up being game 7 in Miami. Winner takes it, Jaylen Brown. Jimmy Butler versus Jason Tatum. Yeah, I think this will still go game 7. I think Boston does take game 4 tonight, but Miami has been a tough team, a tougher team than you anticipated because you had them in 5. Ridiculous.
It wasn't ridiculous.
Yeah, 5 was crazy.
Outside of one quarter in the third, the Celtics should be up 2-1.
Don't do what
I'm
he
giving
just
y'all
did.
game 3.
Don't do what he just did.
I just had a whole spiel about how I'm respecting and acknowledging what they did in game 3.
Bam needs to continue to be better. Tyler Herro, whenever he comes back, be better. I personally don't know how long they're going to keep playing because they keep just picking on him on defense, and it gets really bad. Max Strus is the better option. Hopefully Jimmy Butler is healthy, though. But other than that, role players continue to step up. Defense continues to be there. Kyle Lowry is back, so now they'll have that consistency at the point guard position. But this has been a good series. You know, aside from the blowouts in game 2, even game 1 was entertaining for a little bit. Game 3 was great in the second half. But hopefully we can get more competitive games. But I still got Miami 7. Nothing changes for me.
Max Strus gives me Shane Battier vibes.
I don't know about that, but I see why you say it.
You take Shane Battier?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm just saying, like, he could get to, like, I see,
Shane
like.
is 6'9", bro.
Shane he was like that. He was like that.
That's crazy comp, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Max Strus is like Mike Miller with some defense, but lesser of him. You know what I'm saying? All he does is shoot threes.
Which is why Shane Battier, talk about a brother that could stroke it. On the floor. But when he was, as a role player, I'm saying role player Shane Battier.
Yeah, but he's still 6'9".
He was always a role player.
True.
Didn't we Rookie of the Year?
He was on the Rockets. His role player.
All right, Miami Heat role playing Shane Battier is how I see Max Strus.
I think I like the Mike Miller one better.
I don't mind
with
that.
some defense.
No, Max Strus definitely
less of a sharp because Mike was.
Woo! That my
stop.
goodness.
But yeah, because I know what you're about to say.
About to let me get
stop.
Look,
what?
There's a reason why I was in on Miami.
Oh my goodness. God have mercy. This guy has no. I'll tell you what. He has no self-respect. No self-respect.
There's a reason.
I'm about to quit.
I saw the physicality. I saw how great they are defensively. When you guys were questioning Jimmy Butler, I said Jimmy Butler is capable of being that guy. You can trust him in those situations.
I have to get my own footage.
Does that mean that I'm picking the Heat to win this series? No.
Wow.
But this wasn't going to be an easy series. Game 1, the Celtics gave up the most points they gave up all playoffs long. Game 2, the Heat gave up the most points they've given up all playoffs long. It was uncharacteristic for both teams. You want to know what's not uncharacteristic for both teams, though? The Celtics and Heat are both at the top of the league in terms of garnering 20-point leads. They're both at the top of the league. The fact that these games have been fluctuating so much with one team holding a big-time lead and one team hasn't been is not surprising to me. Game 3, I wish I would have seen Boston come more prepared to that game.
I agree.
Knowing how Miami already is, their mindset, I just thought they weren't very prepared, and Jimmy Butler going down was the reason they were able to get back into the game. But had they not started off slow, they would have won the game. But then you also have Jason Tatum, 10 points in game 3. I mean, Game 3, he had 10 points against Milwaukee. There's a trend in Game 3, Tatum doesn't perform. But after those games, Tatum had 30, 34, 46. He's going to have a big-time game tonight.
No doubt.
I think the Celtics win Game 4. Game 5 is going to determine the winner, in my opinion. Game 5 is the game. Whoever wins that game is winning the series.
In Miami.
Question.
In Miami.
Wasn't it pretty similar where Celtics lost Game 1, won Game 2, lost Game 3.
They lost
won
Game 5 to
4,
Milwaukee.
Lost Game 5 and ended up still winning the series.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't count it out wholeheartedly. Like if Miami wins Game 5, but I still see Celtics win the series in 6.
I don't think Boston. If it gets to 7, Boston's not beating Miami in Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw them smoke them in Miami.
Boston. I'm talking about Game 7 though. Game 7 is a little different than Game 1 and Game 2. You know, Game 7 high intensity. Like Boston. Like I think if Boston played the Bucks in Milwaukee, Game 7, that'd have been a little different than what it looked like. You know, a bit of a closer
Fair
game.
Enough.
But in Boston, the crowd is in it. You got your fans.
Listen,
behind you.
Game 6 was Boston's Game 7.
Yeah, in Milwaukee, we see how that went. Fucking embarrassing.
Look, I think Celtics are winning 3 straight.
Ooh,
I agree.
I think they're winning 3 straight games.
100%.
And it's going to end in 6. But I will say
you did
this
say
about
6 in the beginning, right?
Yeah, I will say this about Miami. Jimmy Butler continuing to play at the level he's playing at. I didn't expect it against Boston. He's still doing it. Bam Adebayo needed this performance in Game 3. 30 points, 12 rebounds. This is who I think Bam is. Bam isn't 30 every night, but he's 23 every night if he's aggressive. That's what he can do. He's the offensive initiator for the Heat. He's capable of doing it. This is what he is. Kyle Lowry being back is huge because Gabe Vincent can't make the passes he can make. There was a difference in transition buckets when Kyle Lowry was in the game. He pushes the ball up the floor, and that helps a lot. But Game 3, I mean, Miami stole the ball 19 times. Oladipo had 4 of those. And Miami had 33 points in transition. They got up 92 shots compared to Boston's 70.
JB needs
That's
to work on
a
his handles.
gigantic discrepancy.
That is without a doubt. He's the sloppiest ball handler that can give you 24.
Question.
What I'm saying is that this is going to be a close series. I think the game's going to be much closer from here on out. I do have Boston winning, but the Heat aren't slouches. And this is what I've been saying all year long. The Heat aren't slouches.
He needs to make sure that he has his out. God forbid.
Oh
no, I've been saying that, and I literally said that if the Bucks were to face the Heat, I would have picked the Heat based off of matchup purposes. I would have picked Miami over Milwaukee.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
That's cool. But do you remember when you made your little bracket and you had Miami in the finals?
Before the playoffs.
When the playoffs started, we literally had an episode before we started, and you made your bracket. You had Miami in the finals.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, a week later,
because Boston's them.
No, I'm going with Boston. Yeah, but
it's really interesting.
That's why I told you it's not that I've never been in on Miami. I've been in on Miami.
You just flipped.
But I just am more in on Boston.
Well, you haven't been.
But the fact that I had Miami going to the championship, and mind you, I had my bracket was Golden State versus Miami. That was my bracket.
You can't get credit for that though.
Yes, I can.
Because you switched and said Boston's going to beat Miami.
But they can still beat them.
No, but I'm saying
I already said I think they'll beat them.
Yeah, but you don't get if Miami goes to the finals, we can't. You don't get I was right all along because no, you flipped.
I wasn't right all along, but I was right to an extent. This is my prediction before the playoffs.
No, yes. You can't just go back to what you said. No, you changed because you changed your theory up. You feel like Boston.
I didn't change my theory up.
You picked a new team.
There's multiple possibilities that can happen, bro.
Joel, I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
I think you're a scientist.
You're out.
There's multiple hypotheses that are involved in coming to a conclusion.
Oh my goodness!
I couldn't ignore. It's not for me personally. It's not.
That's him with every single opinion that he has. There's no lose because he always has
the backtrack.
He always has that out. You know what I mean?
No, there are some lose. Golden State not making it is a lose for me if they didn't make the finals.
Oh, I'm with you there.
Yeah. But I always pad Golden State. I didn't switch up on that once. The East was just harder to predict
easily.
And after seeing Boston beat Brooklyn and then Milwaukee, I was confident in them beating Miami.
I'm with you.
But I am not you, where you did not trust Butler as an offensive player or Bam or Lowry.
I didn't say I didn't trust Butler.
You said their offense
after Butler, who do they have?
You did say that.
That's what I said.
You said their offense is so limited that you don't trust them at all.
I don't.
You had them winning. You had them losing to 5. All playoff song. It doesn't matter if we're talking right now.
It's so ironic. We're on the same side here. But I'm trying to at least give him the real that if Miami goes to the final, he doesn't get credit.
What's worse?
Talk to me.
Person A or person B? Person A picked Golden State versus Miami in the finals, but then later switched his pick to Boston, or person B who never had Miami sniffing the finals ever, has been low on them all year, and then they make the finals. What's worse, person A or person B?
B is worse.
B's worse.
B is worse.
B
You're
is
worse,
worse.
but B is worse. Yeah. I mean, you take your L in peace.
Fine.
Take your L in peace.
Because I'm telling you right now, I don't have to worry about that.
I took my L last week, bro. Bucks.
You know you're making me want Miami to win now.
Good. I mean, fine.
No flip. No.
No, I'm not going to flip-flop
okay.
on it,
You
but
know what's hilarious?
you're making me want them to
You know
win
what's-
now.
I love
games
knowing
in.
that I live rent-free in that head of his.
No,
That's
it's just
what I
funny.
love
It's just
knowing.
funny.
And the audience just saw that in 4K. I
Nah,
think
I
1080p
think
because that's
it's
what we
just-
Hey,
recorded.
man, the Bucks lost. I've been out in the East.
I know,
bro.
man. It's okay. It's all
Took my
right.
L in peace. L in peace.
It's all right. That's why you have to keep riding. Fuck Boston. Fuck Boston.
I
fuck
do
Boston.
think Tyler Hero being out, though, I think it opens up a lot of minutes for Oladipo.
Oh, yeah, great.
That's their X factor.
Well, yeah,
in
because
this
Tyler
series.
Hero was a cone. He's been a cone. He will always be a cone, and he's not that good.
You saw Victor Oladipo put up a little highlight reel of him playing defense.
He was locking Jalen
He was,
Brown.
but that was really, really funny.
Well, he hasn't played. He should be proud of himself. Honestly.
Oh no, he should be proud.
I hate to be this simplistic about it, but if Boston's going to win, Tatum has to take that ascension. Like, he has to take that leap.
I'm with you.
He has to take that responsibility the same way Luka has done it, and he's dropped 40 on multiple games now. Like, Tatum has to be superstar level. He plays marginally better in Game 3. Boston wins that
He had
game.
a lot of turnovers.
And him checking
Him
into the
and
game,
JB.
him checking into the game after hurting his shoulder ruined the momentum they had. So it's Tatum. Tatum has to take that step.
I don't know, bro. You heard that crowd when Tatum came back onto the floor. They were going crazy.
Yeah, but they
you're
was
right.
hot. JB was hot.
He was. Yo, JB was going
Shit's
crazy.
vicious. But that was no Jimmy Butler in the second half.
Oh, I'm
That
with
was
you.
big.
And
That
no,
was
that's
big.
why that Game 3, listen, nothing but
Game
credit
3
to
would have been
Miami
ass
Heat.
whipping, for real.
Maybe. I don't know.
Jimmy Butler stayed in the game.
Maybe.
That would have been ass whipping.
Maybe.
I think it would have been.
Yeah. It
Butler
was rolling.
going out gave them a chance to win the game. You see what PJ's been doing, though. I've been telling you about PJ all year long. 17.
I'm the
Please,
only man
let's
here.
just-
Stop
that
playing.
Can we just talk about the Mavericks and the Warriors?
Stop playing with PJ Tucker's name, man.
should have stuck with Miami. I don't know why you flipped.
You know,
man.
it's funny because there was a video I was watching because I was going through some footage yesterday. There was a video of me saying that the reason nobody can beat the Heat is because teams see that man.
You've also said they have the
PJ
easiest
Tucker.
run though.
They do, yeah,
but that's
that's
facts.
that's what you earn when you get the first seed. The easiest
Phoenix didn't earn that.
path. I mean, what do you mean? They faced the Pelicans and the Mavericks.
That's not easy. They lost.
If Golden State had that same path, that would have been an easy path.
For
They're
them.
about to sweep Golden State right
well,
now.
for them,
Dallas
but I'm
right
saying
now.
like Phoenix, that was an easy path for Phoenix. They were the number 1 seed.
It wasn't an easy. Pelicans was more of an easy path.
6 games.
I mean, what would you rather do? You'd rather play the Pelicans in
Denver?
Dallas, or would you rather play Denver and Memphis?
Denver and Memphis.
No, you wouldn't.
Because just
You'd rather
because
play
of
Pelicans than-
Denver. That's why.
Yeah, but Memphis is a better team than Dallas.
Well, if I'm the Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying if I'm Phoenix, I would rather play Denver and Memphis. If I'm the Warriors, yeah, I would. You know what I'm saying. But if I'm Phoenix, I think if they could flip flop, they would flip flop. Because I don't think they'd lose to Memphis.
I think it's easy to say that now because we saw Phoenix lose against the Mavs.
So we have, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hindsight.
But before the playoffs, if you were like, where would you rather go through?
I mean, Phoenix would have destroyed Denver.
Yeah, I guess to an extent.
And Memphis, I don't know if they have that type of, like, Ja was amazing, but I don't know if they have that type of Luka performances every night. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was bugging, and Jason Kidd made incredible adjustments. So I think
It is Luka, so I guess you could.
I think Phoenix takes that one in 6, but the Warriors, it don't matter who they played. I'm gonna be honest with you.